Good morning, friends. I have another great book for you today by Nicola Davies. Tony, you're going to love this one. It's all about whales and all of my other friends who love sea creatures. Before we get started, I want you to think about everything that you already know about whales. Can you list 5 things you already know about whales? I'll get you started. They live in the ocean. What else do you know about whales? All right, well, we are about to learn a lot in this book, Big Blue Whale by Nicola Davies, and the illustrations in this one are by Nick Malland, another great illustrator. For every blue whale alive today, there were once 20. People hunted and killed so many of them that fewer than 10,000 remain. Now blue whales are protected and hunting them is banned. So in some places their numbers are growing very, very slowly. Still, you could sail the ocean for a year and never see a single one. Big Blue Whale, Nicola Davies, illustrated by Nick Malland. The blue whale is big, bigger than a giraffe, bigger than an elephant, bigger than a dinosaur. The blue whale is the biggest creature that has ever lived on Earth. And check out the way she wrote those words. The words get bigger and bigger and bigger. Here it says, female blue whales are a little bigger than the males. Blue whales can grow to 100 feet long and weigh 150 tons. That's heavier than 25 elephants or 115 giraffes. So look there in the picture, you can see the elephant and the giraffe and oh, just the back of the whale, right? You can imagine the rest of the whale coming all the way out. Reach out and touch the blue whale's skin. It's springy and smooth like a hard-boiled egg, and it's slippery as wet soap. In deep blue water, there isn't much light and it's hard to see, so blue whales use their sense of hearing and their sense of touch to find their way around. Look into its eye. It's as big as a teacup and as dark as the deep sea. Just behind the eye is a hole as small as the end of a pencil. The hole is one of the blue whale's ears. Sticking out ears would get in the way when the whale is swimming. I don't know if I can really see the ear, but I can see the eye. Okay, so they don't have regular ears, they just have holes for ears. Kind of like, was that sea lions or seals? I remember one of those animals doesn't have ear flaps, it just has ear holes. Maybe if you send me an email, you can remind me if that was seals or sea lions. I remember reading about those with you. The blue whale lives all of its long life in the sea, but it isn't a mammal like us, and it breathes air, not water. From time to time, it has to come to the surface to breathe through the blowholes on top of its head. Blue whales can live for about 70 to 80 years. When it breathes out, it makes a great misty puff as high as a house. This is the whale's blow, and you can see it from far away. You can hear it too, a great Can you do that with me? Can you make a whale poof? Ready? 1, 2, 3. And if you are close enough, you can smell it as the whale's breath is stale and fishy. Ugh, gross, from eating all that fish. A blue whale can stay underwater for 30 minutes or more, but on long journeys, it usually surfaces for air every 2 to 5 minutes. Can you hear the downstairs neighbor playing piano in the recording? Yeah, it's kind of nice. The music kind of sounds like whale music too. A blue whale can have as many as 790 baleen plates in its mouth. Baleen is tough, bendy stuff like extra hard fingernails. Take a look inside its mouth. Don't worry, a blue whale doesn't eat people. It doesn't even have any teeth. It has hundreds of baleen plates instead. They're the long, bristly things hanging down from its top jaw. The whale doesn't need teeth for biting or chewing because its food is tiny. The blue whale eats krill, a pale, pinkish, shrimp-like creature the size of your little finger. Billions of them live in the cold seas around the North and South poles. In the summer, there can be so many that the water looks pink, so that's when blue whales come to the polar seas to eat. It takes an awful lot of tiny krill to feed a great big blue whale, but the whale doesn't catch them one at a time. It has a special way of swallowing whole swarms of them all at once. First, it takes a huge gulp of krill in salty seawater. There's room for all this because the whale's throat unfolds and opens like a vast balloon. Vast means really, really big, a big balloon. Then it uses its big tongue to push the water out between its bristly baleen plates. So it swallows up all that water with krill, and then it pushes the water out, but the krill stay in. The water streams away and leaves the krill caught on the bristles like peas in a sieve. Now all the whales have to do is lick them off and swallow them. Whoa. A blue whale can have as many as 88 folds of skin in its throat. A blue whale can eat about 30 million krill just in one day. That's 3 big truckloads. Whoa. And this is how the blue whale spends the summer, eating krill and getting fat. But in the fall, the polar seas freeze over. The krill hide under the ice where the whale cannot catch them. So the whale swims away from the icy cold and the winter storms. In summer, the blue whale grows a thick layer of fat all over its body. This fat is called blubber, and it's a food store for the winter when the whale eats very little. Oh, because they're swimming with the whale. Day after day, the blue whale swims slowly and steadily towards its winter home. Its huge tail beats up and down to push it along. Its flippers steer left or right. For 2 months and more, the whale swims until at last it reaches the calm, warm seas near the equator. There it stays all winter. Some blue whales spend their summers around the South Pole and swim north to the equator for winter. Others live in the North Pole and swim south for the winter. But when it's winter at the South Pole, it's summer at the North Pole. So the 2 groups of whales never meet. Wow, that's so interesting. Huh. And there the blue whale mother gives birth to her baby where storms and cold weather can't hurt it. The blue whale's baby slithers from her body tail first. Gently, she nudges it to the surface to take its first breath. Then the baby dives beneath her to take its first drink of milk. Male and female blue whales mate in winter and then part. Babies are born about a year later. A blue whale baby is 23 feet long at birth. It drinks more than 150 gallons of milk a day, sucking it from the teats tucked into its mother's belly. There's the mother and her baby. All through the winter, the blue whale keeps her baby close. It feeds on her creamy milk and grows and grows. In spring, the 2 whales return to the polar seas to feast on krill together, but by the fall, the young whale is big enough to live on its own. So mother and young whale part and begin the long journey back to the equator. The blue whale may travel from the polar seas to the equator and back every year of its life. Sometimes it will swim with other blue whales, but mostly it will swim alone. Adult blue whales make their hums in deep water. It's much colder near the surface, which helps the hum travel a long way. Yet, The blue whale may not be as lonely as it seems because sometimes it makes a hum so loud and so low it can travel for thousands of miles through the seas to reach other blue whales. Only a very low hum could travel so far, and only a very big animal could make such a low hum. Perhaps that's why blue whales are the biggest creatures on Earth, so they can talk to one another even when they are far apart. Who knows what they say? Here I am would be enough. Because in the vastness of the green seas, even a blue whale is small and hard to find. Nicola Davies put an index on here also so that we could look in the pages and find out different things about the whales. Wow, that was a special book, wasn't it? All right, so today what I want you to do is I want you to draw a picture of a big blue whale, and I want you to label it to show the different parts that we read about. So I chose this one where the throat is big so that it can catch all those krill, because I thought that was so interesting. And I labeled the parts. I labeled the blowhole, the tiny ear hole, the stinky fishy breath from its blowhole, the slippery skin, the baleen plates, and like I wrote, no teeth. Balloon throat for gulping krill. And then I wrote blubber, fat to store energy. And then here I made a speech bubble where it's saying, whales hum underwater to communicate. And then down at the bottom I wrote, I am still wondering, do whales swim around alone or do they sometimes swim in groups? Okay, friends, can't wait to see your pictures of whales and your wonderings. Have a wonderful Tuesday.